Today we are talking about the two most common responses to sex when it comes to libido and sex drive. Hi, I am Caitlin V, YouTuber, person who exists on Instagram, and all over the internet. And you know what? Before I was right here on the internet talking to you, I was a college student, and a good one at that. And like many good college students and like many not so good college students, when it would come time for finals, I would get incredibly stressed. But unlike many college students, when I would get incredibly stressed, I would also get incredibly horny. Now, not necessarily the fun kind of horny, like a intense drive that actually kind of distracted me and took away from my ability to get all the things I wanted to get done in order to do well on my finals. And I didn't really recognize what was happening until I was literally in class taking a final and humping my chair. And I could not wait until I could get out of class so I could go back to my dorm and furiously masturbate before picking up my books again to study. And if any of that resonates with you, stay tuned, because oh boy, have I got something that's gonna make a whole lot of sense to you. And if that sounds absolutely batshit crazy to you, also stay tuned, because I am gonna explain how you likely respond to stress, which is probably very, very different. How do I know this? Well, number one, I am a certified sex coach and I've been doing this stuff for a while now. But if you're interested in learning more on this subject, the best resource I can point you to is an amazing book by Emily Nagoski that is called Come As You Are. It is a phenomenal resource on female sexuality. Why are we talking about this? Well, it's been a stressful life for some of us. It's definitely been a stressful year, and like most people watching this as it comes out, it's been a very stressful week. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about election season. I don't even know if you can call it a season. It's just kind of an ongoing thing that we as Americans just do all the time. But it was stressful, and it's been stressful. And you know what? Sometimes like life throws a lot of things at you, like a pandemic, an election, Mercury in retrograde, a full moon on Halloween, followed by Friday the 13th. Or actually maybe none of that affected your stress levels, but maybe you got a new job, lost a parent, have a sick child, or a sick partner. There's a lot of things out there that can stress out a human being. And stress, as you know, has a big impact on your sex life. And that impact starts with your sex drive, your very desire for sex. So, as I said earlier, there are two main kinds of response to stress when it comes to sex drive. For you to understand what these two things are, there's one thing that you've got to know. Your sex drive is made up of two parts, a brake and an accelerator. Just like when you drive a car, you hit the accelerator to make it go fast, aka get turned on, and you hit the brakes to make it stop, aka the obstacles and the things that tell you to turn off. These components make up and determine which of these two responses you are going to have to stress. So let's get into them right now. Response number one is the flatliner. This is someone who has a not so sensitive accelerator and has a pretty sensitive brake. What that means is that stress is a huge obstacle to their desire, their ability, their capacity to become aroused. The part of them that experiences stress is the same part of them that slams on the brakes and says, you know what, now's not a good time for sex because I might have to like outrun a tiger or a landslide. I'm speaking evolutionarily again. I don't think that many of you have tigers that you've got to outrun, but you may have taxes, illness, death, suffering, money stuff, kid stuff, etc. The number one thing to know if you are a flatliner is that you are not alone. Women in particular are more likely to have very, very sensitive brake pedals. And so if you are a woman or you're in a partnership with a woman and her sex drive and desire for sex decreases majorly when she's stressed out, just know that it's not abnormal. Nothing is actually wrong. Chances are good that she doesn't have a very sensitive accelerator, and therefore it takes a lot to get her into sex. Or maybe things just have to be just right in order for her to get turned on, or she needs a lot of communication and connection in order to get aroused. Nothing is wrong. It's worthwhile to figure out what works and what gets you there. Sometimes that's like a self-pleasure routine. Sometimes it's like a lot of cuddling and massages. I've got other videos for you to check out if you're curious about how to increase libido. All right, but I said there were two major types. Itchy. I said that there were two major types of people and how they respond to stress. And the second one, which you may have already guessed it, I am a member of, is the redliners. Redliners have a very sensitive accelerator and a less sensitive brake, which means that when they are stressed out, sometimes that stress actually pushes on their accelerator. It pushes on the part of their sex drive or their libido that says, go, go, go. They tend to experience more impulsivity and feel like they're actually in less control. And that's because the things in our brains that tell us not to have sex when something is happening or when we know that it's wrong to be doing that are actually turned down. So to go back to the example of me humping a chair in my poli-sci final, the part of my brain that was saying, hey, we're stressed out, we should be focusing on women in international law, was overridden by the part that was like, hey, we're stressed out, turn everything up, let's do this. Let's get off as many times as possible during final week until we feel like we are absolutely raw and we are gonna need to ice our genitals. That may be a little bit of an overstatement, but I don't know, it's been a while since college, so that feels semi-accurate. So now that you know which the two are, why don't you write in the comments below which one you are, flatliner or redliner, and why you think so. And maybe tell me about a time where you got stressed and, humped a chair or whatever. The moral of the story is that we have flatliners and we have redliners, people who respond by their libido decreasing and people who respond with their libido increasing. The major challenge here is, what if you are in a partnership with someone who's the opposite of you? Mismatched libidos are one of the most painful and divorce triggering or breakup causing experiences in sexual relationships, and it is no laughing matter. And I hope that now that you have some words to describe how you and your partner experience sex and stress, you may be able to come to an agreement that allows you both to get your needs met and feel totally respected and safe in the relationship. I swear there is nothing wrong with either one of you, and if you need help sorting through this challenge, I ask you to apply for coaching. The link is in the description below, or seek a qualified professional in your area who can help you to deal with issues of sexuality and relationships. Life is too short to have an unsatisfied sex life, and there are plenty of people out there like myself who are here to help. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and make sure that you are subscribed. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you here next week.